And welcome back to another pro wrestling training vlog. You can see me right here just trying on my brand new show boots. The reason that I'm wearing them for training is just to try them out a little bit, maybe break them in, just see how they do. So very exciting stuff. Today we are at PPW, also known as Pursuit Pro Wrestling, based in Sheffield, which is this fantastic wrestling school that you should definitely check out. Links will be in the description. Right here you can see me trying out some karate moves, just testing out my new boots again. It would have been really embarrassing if somebody walked in whilst I was doing that. But without any further ado, let's get on with it. Hello, my beautiful creatures. It's Mackenziewaddilove, your demon queen, personal yandere, also known as Succubus. And here we are starting off with a few warm-up exercises before moving on to some rolls. I was actually telling the trainer about how I have these new boots, and he was telling me how the canvas is quite slippy. So what's like the first thing I do? I go ahead and slip right there, and I just look back at him and I'm just like, oh, you mean like that? But here are my split-legged backward rolls making their debut at PPW. I love listening to people's reaction when they see my backward rolls for the first time because they're so different from like what most people tend to do. But today was quite a special training day at PPW because they were doing what's called a session swap with another wrestling promotion called Future Shock, where like the main trainer at PPW went to go teach at their wrestling company whilst one of their trainers came to teach here at PPW, which is awesome. And whilst we're on the topic, teaching this session is a guy called Sam Bailey, who is just the nicest dude. He was absolutely lovely. He had such a warm energy about him, and I actually got to work with him a little bit throughout the session, which was super cool because like he didn't really have to do that. And yeah, he was just such an awesome guy, and I learned so incredibly much. I came away from this session with so much information and I learned so many new things. So yeah, it was absolutely fantastic and he did a brilliant job. You can actually see me about to work with him in this drill where I duck a line, he ducks my line, he goes for a leg sweep, goes for a pin, I kick out, I leg sweep him, I go for a cover, he kicks out, then he goes for a clothesline, I duck, and then I go for a clothesline, he ducks, and then we lock up. Wow, that was actually quite a mouthful. I don't know how I managed to keep up with all that. But right here you can see me going for a Japanese stranglehold, I believe it is. But mostly I was just thinking like, oh wow, this guy has really nice hair. But it was important that we learn how to do this stranglehold because we're about to do like a sequence involving it. So you kind of start from that position and you kind of like turn to your right to kind of like release the grip that they have on you, run them into the ropes, do almost like a bit of a snapmare type motion before getting them up on their feet, going for a short arm drag, I guess I could call it, and then doing like a lucha style arm drag off the ropes. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know what any of these moves are called. I just do what I'm told. But I actually really enjoyed the part where I get to like spring off the ropes and do that little arm drag style thing. Some of you that are used to watching my videos might be aware that doing high fly stuff is kind of my thing. Anytime I get to leave my feet is a good time for me. So getting to learn a new little high flying maneuver was awesome. Speaking of awesome, PPW has such a great atmosphere about it. I truly had like so much fun there. And if you're looking to get into a wrestling school, you want to learn how to wrestle, then definitely check out the links in the description below. I highly recommend checking out this school if you happen to live in or around the Sheffield area. It's a fantastic place to get started. They have a wonderful facility and they are super nice people. I was actually speaking to the owner for quite a bit and he just made me feel so incredibly welcomed. He actually did some of the recording for me later on in the training vlog, which was super appreciated. And yeah, just a fantastic place and I can't wait to go back again. In a moment here, you're going to see me absolutely launch myself from this arm drag just because, I don't know, sometimes when I take moves like that, I really just like throwing myself at them. And yeah, I literally just got my ass kicked. Did you see that? I've never felt so disrespected in my life. But right here you can see us doing a little sequence involving blocking and reversing an ankle pick, as you're about to see right here. Just as they go down, I block it with my hands, I step over, and then I swivel around into a bridged pin. Again, something I would love to use on like a show. Speaking of shows, you can see a gun show happening right here, which obviously I had to get in on. But right here you can see us doing a takedown involving a caught kick, and the way that you're supposed to do it, and you can see Sam Bailey's just kind of explaining it to me, it's supposed to look more like a golf swing. He has such a brilliant way of explaining things and I love it. So here you can see me going for it again and it just looks a lot better. Alright, and here we are in the ring about to do a little sequence in which I am the babyface. I'm getting beaten up by the heel, the villain. And the whole point of this sequence is to create that hope that I'm going to mount this comeback before getting cut off. So like I start fighting up, I start blocking these punches before eventually ending up where the heel just shuts me down and shuts down all the momentum that I've built up. Always love receiving those hard whips in the corner. So now we're switching things up with me as the villain, so I'm just beating up the babyface in the corner before I talk to the ref to kind of distract him whilst I continue to kick the babyface in the corner. It's just, it wasn't something that we were told to do in this session, it's just one of those things that I tend to do. You'll probably notice that the PPW ring is a lot smaller than the one that we have at House of Pain, which is kind of a nice thing really, because it means that I don't really have to run as far to hit the ropes. And the ring was also very comfortable to bump in as well, which is great. You can see Axel here about to take a hell of a bump for me, making me look like Supergirl. But the sequence that we just went through, we're actually going to go through that a few times, and each time that we do, we kind of almost extend this sequence a little bit. So when we go through it again here, instead of taking that hard whip in the corner, I'm going to get my foot up, hit a back elbow, and then finish the spot with something different. And the great thing about going through this multiple times is that you get to tweak things that could be improved on. And Sam Bailey is really good at providing those little bits of feedback of like things that you could be doing better. So even though the sequence is very similar, each time you go through it, you end up doing it a little bit better than the time before, which is great. That's like exactly what you want. It was also fantastic working with Ellis here, who hits an amazing looking clothesline. Like I was really impressed watching this footage back. I was like, oh man, that was a really good clothesline. But right here I'm working as the villain again, and I'm actually working with a guy whose ring name is, I believe, called Axel the Clown, which is a really cool character, and I actually felt quite lucky to work with him, especially towards the end of the session where we kind of got to put our own little sequence together. I really enjoy working with people who have really strong characters, and he had one, which was great. And he also put on the clown mask later on, which was very much appreciated because it looks really good on camera. And obviously him wearing the mask really added to his character. But it really was a great experience going down to PPW. As soon as this training session was over and I got home, I was so excited to start editing this all together for this training vlog. And just watching all the footage back, and they have such a great setup, like with all the signs and the neon sign and just the black curtains and everything. It's quite different from what I've been used to the past year, and I was just really excited to get into this and start editing it for all of you to watch. I actually watched a fair bit of PPW before this training session because their stuff would often pop up on my socials, because the kind of stuff that they do with their socials is very similar to the kind of stuff that I do. And just looking at their setup, I was very drawn to go down there and to go train for myself and just see what it was like. And I know I've said it a lot and I'm kind of repeating myself, but it really was fantastic and I really did have such a great time, and I can't wait to go down again. And here we are going through the sequence for the final time, and this one's actually going to end with me doing a vertical suplex, which people are always giving me suggestions, and I know that there are quite a few people out there that want to see me do more slams. But slams and suplexes are not really part of my style. Like, if given a choice, it's not the kind of stuff that I tend to do because it's not really how I work. The way that I tend to work is more just like a lot of kicks and hurricane ranas and moonsaults and that kind of thing. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing because that's my style. But right here you can actually see that I block a suplex before going for one of my own. And there it is. I don't know if that's like the greatest suplex ever, but it works for me, so... And here I am with Axel the Clown. He's got me in a chin lock. You can see he's got that clown mask on, which looks super awesome. And right here you can see, he's kind of taunting me as I'm in the hold. And right here the other trainees are clapping, they're showing their support, they're getting me to fight up. Which I really love, by the way. I really love those training sessions where we're all watching what each other is doing in the ring and we're all just showing our support. And right here you can see I'm about to go for a dropkick, and Axel just swats me out of the way, which is super awesome. It's not often where you see a dropkick get reversed that way, which is kind of why I wanted us to do it. But right here you can see he actually grabs my nose, like he pinches my nose between his knuckles and then smacks his own hand, which was really freaking cool. It was a really great idea. When he told me about that move, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great idea. I love it. Let's do it. But right here you can see he bounced his head off the top turnbuckle and set himself up perfectly for my finisher, which of course I had to go for, but he managed to get up and clip my wings before I managed to hit it. I swear down, one of these days you will see me hit that move, one day. And right here just a vicious looking neck snap, which looked fantastic as well. And that about does it for this training session. So if you want to check out PPW based in Sheffield, then definitely check out the links in the description of this video. And if you want to continue watching me on my wrestling journey, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you all next time.